5. I do see Honorable Pulwane, I see Honorable Peterson, I see Honorable Kanile. I think we will give another few minutes for honorable members to log in. So let's just give it 5 minutes and then we will start the meeting soonest. So I think we are going to proceed because it is myself, Honorable Shibango, Honorable Pulwane, Honorable Kanile, and Honorable Peterson. Mr. Dumizweni, colleagues, you are all welcome. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our support team, Ms. Abrams, Ms. Silly, Mr. Dumizweni, Tasneem Matthews, Crystal Levendal, and our other colleagues from Parliament. Mr. Dumizweni, can I ask that you just table the agenda for us, please? Good afternoon, Doc. Thank you for joining us as well. Mr. Dumizweni, can you please deal with the agenda for us?
Afternoon, Chair.
Good afternoon.
Oh, sorry.
No, please proceed, Mr. Dumizweni.
Good morning, after Chair, colleagues, and honorable members. Chair, today we are going to deal with the opening and welcoming and then the adoption of the agenda. And then Ms. Abrams is going to brief us on the background of information pertaining to the shortlisting. Then from there, going to get an overview analysis of applications. Then it's going to be shortlisting after that, Chair. So the shortlisting will start at 1:30 to 1:55. That's all for now, Chair. In terms of the apologies, Chair, let me also report that I haven't received any apology so far. It's just Honorable Mbiko who indicated that she will be experiencing network issues. That's all, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dumizweni. Honorable Mkunu also indicated that she's currently busy with a declaration in the National Assembly, so I will give her an opportunity at the end to table her nominations. Can I ask for a mover and a seconder of our agenda, please?
Chair. Greetings, Chair.
Greetings, Honorable Pulwane. Greetings, Honorable Kanile. Greetings, Honorable Chauke Adonis. Honorable Pulwane.
Yes, greetings, Chair. Greetings, everyone in the platform, our members, our support staff. I move for the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pulwane. Honorable Kanile.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to you and greetings to all colleagues. I second the adoption of the agenda. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to hand over. I know we have to be done just before 2, so I'm going to hand over to Ms. Levendal to just give us a quick, brief background of the processes up until today, and then followed by Ms. Abrams to give us an overview of the analysis and to remind us of the shortlisting criteria. So over to you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good afternoon, Chair and members. I hope I'm audible.
You are. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Levendal.
Thank you. So I'm just going to give a brief overview as Chairperson has indicated. So in the 6th administration, the previous portfolio committee had finalized and adopted the report on the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide on the 23rd of September in 2023. And subsequently, the bill, the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide Act, rather, was assented to by the President on the 24th of May in 2024 and proclaimed as an act becoming effective on the 12th of November last year as well, 2024. So in this administration, the 7th administration, our current committee has been tasked with the appointment of the civil society representatives to serve on the council. And since the inception of the new committee, members will recall that we've had several meetings where the council was placed on the agenda. So during these engagements, members raised a number of concerns relating to the role and mandate of the council, as well as to how it would be funded and how civil society members would be compensated. So I'm not going to go into each and every meeting. I'm just going to highlight a few of the committee engagements and some of the concerns that were raised. So on the 13th of May of this year, the committee had engaged with the department on plans and programs to combat GBVF. And during that meeting, the department had acknowledged that there's funding gaps when it comes to the operationalization of the council. And in subsequent meetings, based on the presentations from the department on the council, there appeared to be a bit of a misalignment between the department's intended role for the council and the original vision that had underpinned its creation. As an example, if members will remember, the department was proposing that the council would consist of 24 staff members with a forecasted cost of 56 million rand. The committee had raised with the minister that there was no guarantee that the treasury would make that money available, and so they would have to reconsider a staffing structure which included 24 staff members. Subsequently, it was, however, indicated that funding would be made available during the 26-27 financial year, so from April next year. On the 17th of June, as I said, members had raised a number of concerns and issues during our numerous engagements. And on the 17th of June, the committee considered a legal opinion that advised that a lack of funding at that point should not stop Parliament from advertising for civil society members to serve on this council. The legal opinion also highlighted that the proposed structure that was set forth by the department was not what the previous committee had envisaged. Throughout the engagements, members expressed concerns about moving forward with the current act without sufficient resources, and were dissatisfied that civil society representatives on the council's board would not be compensated for their services. Members also raised concerns about the proposed 24-member secretariat, indicating that it was overly bloated, and sought clarification from legal services on the possibility of reducing its size. So after these and other concerns were raised, the committee met to receive a briefing from Parliamentary Legal Services regarding a proposed committee bill aimed at amending the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide Act to address all the concerns raised by members. Legal Services had confirmed that creating a committee bill would be the most effective way to amend the Act to address these concerns. The committee, however, had resolved then to consider this amendment at a later stage and to prioritize the appointment process for members of civil society to serve on the council, which brings us to today. The process has run. It has been advertised, and applications and nominations concluded at midnight on the 7th of November 2025, which brings us to today's meeting to shortlist candidates to be interviewed. So shortly, that is the process that's been followed thus far. And as Chair indicated, Ms. Abrams will indicate what the applications received cover and what the criteria is. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Ms. Levendal. Can I hand over to you, Ms. Abrams?
Thank you, and good afternoon, Chairperson, members, colleagues and guests on the platform. I'll take members through the overview of applications. As Crystal has noted, our application process is closed. Today we consider the applications in terms of shortlisting. So overall, the committee received 403 applications. Members would recall applicants had the opportunity to either apply online, email, or actually produce a hard copy and submit it in a box and 120 plain. So there were 322 online applications, 80 emails, and then one delivered at the box at 120 plain. 3 of the online applications was received after that closing date, and which was midnight of 7 November. And there were also 5 applications that were emailed after the 7th of November. So in total, there were 8 late submissions. Out of all the applications, the 403, there were 48 duplications. So in other words, some applicants applied more than once, some applicants emailed, as well as applying online. So for the purposes of running the demographics, the applicants who did not submit the required documentation, that is certified copy of the ID, the application form and the like, did not qualify, were not included as part of the analysis. And we also removed the duplication of the late submissions, which when we ran the analysis, which was done by Crystal and Tasneem, it was of 312 applications. With respect to gender, so of the 312 applicants, 105 males, which is just over 33%, 201 females, 64%, and 5 applicants that is identified as non-binary and 1 trans woman. So that just gives members on screen a table of the gender breakdown. And then what members see now is just a pie diagram. And in terms of the gender spread, we've seen this consistent now over the couple of years in terms of the processes that this committee runs, in terms of the applications for the CGE and the NYDA, in terms of who is applying. In terms of gender and province, of the 312 again, the majority of the applicants reside in Gauteng province, 136, and the largest cohort of males and females were from Gauteng province. Just to give members a bit of more breakdown, the province and gender, we had from the Eastern Cape, 11 females, 7 males, 2 non-binary, Free State, 9 females, 7 males. Again, as we indicated, the largest amount came from Gauteng, 136 applicants, KwaZulu-Natal, 35, and from the Western Cape, 57 applicants. So all in all, the majority again, female, 201, male, 105. So the largest is the 98 females from Gauteng, and 37 males, followed by 39 from the Western Cape, females, and 16 males from the Western Cape. In terms of the applicants by race, the majority are Black African, 254, Colored, 24, and Indian or Asian, 23, White, 9, White, 9, Middle Eastern, 1 applicant discloses that, 1, and then 1 unspecified. So again, just in terms of that breakdown, Black African 81%, Colored 7.69%, Indian Asian 7.3%, White 2.8%, and the 1 Middle Eastern Arabic, as well as 1 unspecified. In terms of race and gender, the majority were Black African females, which is 49.3%, followed by males, 30.4%, Colored applicants constituted 7.6%. Indian, Asian, and white applicants was 9 and 7.3%. Again, that's just the table for the race and gender breakdown for all the race, as well as female, male, non-binary, and trans. In terms of disability status, of the 312 applicants, there were 19 applicants, which is about 6%, and noted having a disability. So they disclosed either physical disability, visually impaired, blind, deaf or with a hearing impairment, neurodiverse, indicating autism or ADHD, depression, albinism, epilepsy. So all in all, there were 6 males and 11 females with a disability and 2 persons identifying as non-binary with a disability. In terms of employment status, there were 159 applicants that indicated employed, which is about 50%. So the majority that applied, half were were employed, self-employed, 20%, student, 7%, unemployed, 20%, and unspecified, which was 1. In terms of previous broad experience of these 312, 49% indicated that they had previous board experience. So just less than half of the applicants of the 312 that applied or were nominated indicated that they had board experience. What we also noticed, 3 of the 312 applicants, which is about 1%, indicated a prior conviction of a GBV-related crime. Members would recall there was a specific question in that regard as it relates to the Act as well, where in the event that you were previously convicted, the applicant would need to indicate yes or no, and if they said yes, they would need to provide more detail. So 3 applicants indicated yes. 94% said no, and then 17 was unspecified. In terms of nominations, 53 or 17% were nominated, and 244, just over 78%, were self-nominees. In other words, applicants who still applied without a nomination. Chairperson and members, that just gives you an indication of overview of the applications. I will now move on and share with members the criteria as chairpersons requested. Crystal was given members the dates of when we received, when we had meetings, what was agreed to and what was discussed. This document is a combination, includes all matters pertaining to the criteria which members had previously agreed to. So we received 2 legal opinions on the 3rd of June, which was about the role of the National Assembly in relation to the board to be set up in terms of the council. And we also received input by Dr. Lewis again on the 18th of November regarding the criteria. I will just be highlighting some of the key issues, which is important to bear in mind. And this is directly from what has been presented to members by Parliament's Legal Services. Again, they indicated based on the Act, how the Act came about and why we needed to proceed, as Crystal's noted. Again, it was just highlighting in terms of the appointment, according to Section 6 of the Act, 7 representatives from civil society and the private sector appointed by the President from a list of recommended by the National Assembly by way of resolution. And then in terms of government, there'd be 1 representative each, not lower than the DDG from the Departments of Women, Youth, Persons with Disabilities, Justice and Constitutional Development, Social Development, Health, Cooperative Governance, Regional Affairs, Police, Basic Education, and NPA. Just to move on. So based on the advice that the committee had received, which included an outline of the process for establishing the council, the committee yielded to that advice, and what was proposed, agreed to, and adopted an advertisement, and the advertisement ran its course. I think other key provisions in the Act which members are just reminded about again is that definition of civil society, which is in the National Council on GBVF, includes non-governmental organizations, labor and structures or institutions that represent the interests of citizens in the field of gender-based violence and femicide. There's a definition of GBV, and there's also a definition on the National Strategy on GBV and femicide, which talks through the relevant national policies and action plans, as well as the National Strategic Plan, which was developed in terms of Article 3 of the Presidential Summit Declaration against GBVF of 2018. Then also Section 4 outlines the objects of the Council, and Section 5 provides in very much detail the functions of the Council. Just to reiterate that objects of the Council, it's about coordinating a structured multi-sectoral approach, setting out short, medium, and long-term priorities, and facilitating the sharing of information and best practices of the prevention and response to GBVF. The functions are again quite detailed and comprehensive, which has been outlined in the document. In terms of the board candidate criteria, members would recall Dr. Lewis had given a briefing in this regard. She highlighted again, 1, in terms of Section 6.5 of the Act, 7 representatives from civil society and the private sector appointed in terms of the section must be fit and proper persons to hold office. Explain what was meant under honesty and integrity. And again, the aim to prevent corrupt or untrustworthy people from serving. Furthermore, also highlighted was be persons with applicable knowledge and expertise with regards to matters that are related to the purpose of the Act, an explanation of the competence and capability focus, having the required tasks to be able to perform them, the necessary skills and abilities with due regard to the purpose of the board, and that the public comment and qualifications experience will be of value in measuring the aforementioned. Again, with terms of the demographics and the geographical spread, there's no definition given per se, but the dictionary definition for demographic was outlined as well as geographical. Then members were also briefed on the application form or process as per the advert. And just to remind members, it was about the wording of the advert which was adopted, that all applicants or nominees will be required to complete an online application on parliamentary website or submit via email or by hand and deliver it to 100 Plain. That all applicants and nominees are required to upload certificate copies not older than 6 months of the ID documents and identify academic qualifications. It also appeared that some people applied without completing the form, providing info required as per the form, or not providing supporting documents. The Act does not prescribe how to apply. The recent Constitutional Court judgment regarding the CGE process just indicates that there should not be unreasonable barriers for the public to participate in the process. So Parliament can still determine its own internal processes into giving effect to an obligation to nominate for appointment. All applicants were given the same application standard and multiple avenues by which to comply to make sure there are no unreasonable obstacles. If anyone was experiencing issues, that's applying or nominating as per the advert process, the option was also available for them to contact the committee secretary, which is Mvaba, Mr. Dumizweni, allowing people to apply or nominate through any other means or standard than that required in terms of the advert would be unfair to those who follow the required process and instructions. So the committee agreed that applicants will be disqualified if they did not adhere to the requirements as outlined in the advert. Applicants that submitted after the deadline would be disqualified, and applicants who did not submit the required documents will be disqualified. Just another important note in terms of the Act for the disqualification from membership of the board. It's important to note in terms of Section 7 of the Act, it highlights a person is disqualified from being appointed if they've been convicted of a GBV-related offence or any other criminal offence sentenced to a term of imprisonment without the option of fine, if they are insolvent, or if a competent court found them to be of unsound mind, is directly or indirectly doing business with the council and fails to declare interest, if the person is under curatorship or has been removed from an office or of trust on account of any form of misconduct, including sexual harassment, corruption, theft, or fraud, or fails to disclose interest in accordance with Section 8. So the application form had specific questions in relation to what I just outlined to members, which applicants were then expected to respond to, and that in the event an applicant disclosed and responded in the affirmative, in other words, they would indicate yes, the applicant was then required to provide an explanation in that regard. Another important thing to note for the committee is that in the Act also outlines committees of the board in terms of Section 14(1). So the board may, in writing, establish one or more committees, such as the Executive Management Committee, HR and Reimbursement, Audit and Risk. Hence, it would be imperative that persons who serve on the board have at least in their varying capacity the skills to execute the functions required within the aforementioned committees. The committee would need to take cognizance of this in addition to the aforementioned criteria which has been outlined. Just in conclusion, Chairperson and members, as I wrap up, the Portfolio Committee, having been advised, discussed and agreed to the criteria to be considered when selecting candidates to be shortlisted, the committee has also agreed to selecting 16 candidates to be interviewed. Once candidates have been shortlisted by the committees, the candidates' CVs as submitted, in other words, when a person applied, they would have submitted their CV, will be posted on Parliament's website for public commentary. The Portfolio Committee has also sought legal advice in terms of the CVs to be posted, that personal information that should be redacted would be information of the following nature. In other words, the person's physical address, email address, and any form of contact number, their cell phone or landline number, as well as the ID number. Insofar as the address is concerned, the province can be indicated, just not the street details or the house or flat number or like. As the criteria in terms of the Act does call for geographic representation. So in summary, any information that is capable of being used to harass or impersonate or steal someone's identity would fall in the category of needing to be redacted to protect those individuals. As such, the committee would yield to the advice received. Chairperson and members, thank you. That provides an overview of the criteria which was agreed to.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Abrams. Thank you so much for reminding us of the criteria and what we are looking for. I think it's very clear, as we have discussed on numerous occasions, we are looking for members of civil society and of the private sector. We are not looking for candidates from government. They will be accommodated. We're also not looking for candidates from Chapter 9 institutions, and we did take a resolution that we will not entertain applications that were not complete. So I just wanted to make that point. But colleagues, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to call you in alphabetical order, as we have discussed. We resolved to shortlist 16 candidates. We are in need of 7, or the president will finally appoint 7 candidates to serve on the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. We decided to shortlist 7 times 2 is 14 plus 2, and that gives us the 16. So I'm now going to ask members according to your surnames. So it's Honorable Chauke Adonis first, to unmute herself and then to read her 16 candidates for shortlisting into the record, please.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and greetings to honorable members and our support staff and those who are joining us from various platforms. Chairperson, through you, if I can humbly request that our content advisor, Kashifa, assist me with reading out the names or the candidates that I have submitted. Kashifa, they are in the chat box. If you can assist me in this regard with reading them out loud. Through you, Chair.
Sure. Thank you, Chairperson. Just as requested by Ms. Chauke Adonis, it is NC 291, 261, 248, 260, 247, 173, 95, 114, 37, 237, 290, 145, 211. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Are those the correct numbers? Can you confirm?
Yes,
Honourable
Chairperson. Apologies,
Okay,
Chairperson. Yes, those are the correct numbers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I will then hand over to you, Honourable Angel Kanile.
Apologies for the chair. I was struggling to unmute. Please hold on for me.
Oh, I think I see
Can I
Honourable
proceed?
Mthunu has also joined us. Yes, ma'am, you can.
Okay.
Please
The
proceed,
numbers
yes.
that I have is NC 94, NC 291, NC 260, NC 248, NC 173, NC 247, NC 37, NC 237, NC 290, NC 145, NC 211, NC 261, and NC 197. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. The next person on my list will be Honourable Mbiko.
Apologies, Chairperson. Can I just read out again just so that we verify we've got the correct numbers?
Yes.
Ms. Khanile, just to make sure we've got your correct numbers. You indicated 94, 291, 260, 248, 173, 247, 37, 237, 290, 145, 211, 261, 197.
Confirmed, Ms. Abrams. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we go to Honourable Mbiko?
Am I audible, Chair?
You are, ma'am. You can proceed.
Before I start off, I've got an where I am. Otherwise, my list is as follows. It's NC 94, NC 145, NC 248, NC 197, NC 37, NC 173, NC 290, NC 260, NC 211, NC 247, NC 261, and NC 237. Yeah. Oh, okay. And NC 291. Thanks. Sorry, Chair. That's my list. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, do you want to double check, Ashifa?
Yes, Chair. Ms. Mbiko, we've got 94, 145, 248, 197, 37, 173, 290, 260, 211, 247, 261, 237, 291.
That's correct, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I call Honorable Mchunu? Okay, I think we will come back to Honorable Mchunu. Can I check whether there is a representative of the EFF present?
No, Chair.
It's Honorable Mchunu.
Okay. Honorable Mchunu?
I'm sorry, I was struggling here to unmute. Chairperson, my apologies, please. I left my diary at home by mistake. Can I submit my list in the afternoon?
Ma'am, unfortunately, the numbers, your candidates will have to be read into the record. So it's a formal parliamentary process. So can we take you last? And then we request maybe someone can take you a photo of your diary or the page and just WhatsApp it to you. And then you can come last.
Okay, let me try that. Let me try
Okay.
that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Tonishwa. Okay, let's go to Honorable Peterson.
Thank you, Chair. Greetings, everybody. My numbers are as follows: 145, NC 145, NC 211, NC 37, NC 237, NC 290, NC 261, NC 278, NC 310, NC 293, NC 114, NC 181, NC 173, NC 247, NC 248, NC 95, and NC 197.
Thank you so much, Ms. Peterson. Do you want to repeat back, Ms. Abrams?
Thank you, Chair. We have 145, 211, 37, 237, 290, 261, 278, 310, 293, 114, 181, 173, 247, 248, 95, 197.
Confirm, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Peterson. Over to you, Honorable Pulwane.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair, and good day. Mine is NC 291, NC 261, NC 248, NC 260, NC 247, NC 173, NC 95, NC 114, NC 37, NC 237, NC 290, NC 145, NC 211.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Honorable.
Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Pulwane. Can you repeat on Ms. Abrams?
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Pulwani, you indicated 291, 261, 248, 260, 247, 173, 95, 114, 37, 237, 290, 145, and 211.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Pulwane. We will now move to Honorable Shabango.
Thank you, Chair, and good day to everyone in the platform. The numbers are as follows. It's 247, 291, 173, 260, 95, 114, 12, 291, 290, 237, 211, and 161. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Shabangu. Do you want to repeat, Ms. Abrams?
Yes, Chairperson, we have 247, 291, 173, 260, 95, 114. Ms. Shabangu, I'm not sure whether you said it's 290 or 12 after 114. If you could just repeat that for us, please.
12.
Thank you,
It's
Ms.
12.
Shabangu. Thank you. So we've got 114, 12, 290, 237, 211, and 161.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now, greetings to you, Honorable Tsotetsi. Over to you.
Thank you, Chair, and greetings to you and everyone in the meeting. My numbers would be NC 291, NC 261, NC 248, NC 260, NC 247, NC 173, NC 95, NC 114, NC 37, NC 237, NC 290, NC 145, and NC 211.
Thank you so much, Honorable Tsotetsi. Do you want to repeat back, Ms. Abrams?
Yes, Chairperson. Honorable Tsotetsi, we have 291, 261, 248, 260, 247, 173, 95, 114, 37, 237, 290, 145, and 211.
Yes, Chairperson, that is correct.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tsotetsi. Ms. Abrams, I will now read mine into the record. Colleagues, I will read mine into the record. Mine is NC 173, NC 247, NC 248, NC 291, NC 95, NC 237, NC 290, NC 37, NC 145, NC 211, NC 197, NC 261, NC 278, NC 310, and my last one, NC 293. Those are my 16. Do you want to repeat back, please, Ms. Abrams?
Sure. Chairperson indicated 173, 247, 248, 291, 95, 237, 290, 37, 145, 211, 197, 261, 278, 310, and 293.
Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? It was 15. So I excluded NC 114.
Yes, Chair, we don't have 114 from you.
Yes,
So
my
would you
apologies. My apologies. I needed to table 16 names. My last name, NC 114. Can you confirm that?
Yes, Chairperson, I'll run through your numbers again. It's 173, 247, 248, 291, 95, 237, 290, 37, 145, 211, 197, 261, 278, 310, 293, and 114.
Correct. That's correct. I see the hand of the Honorable Shabango. Over to you, ma'am.
My apology, Chair. You know, my diary is congested here. I skipped 3 numbers. Can I please add?
Yes, no problem.
Yes, it's 261
Yes,
37.
yes.
That's the I mustn't confuse me. And the 211 was there. This is clustered, ne? And the 197.
197.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Shabango. Ms. Abrams, can you read back the full list of Honorable Shabango?
No problem, Chair. Ms. Shabangu, you gave us 247, 291, 173, 260, 95, 114, 12, 290, 237, 211, 161, 261, 37, and 197.
Thank you.
Okay, colleagues, thank you very much. I want to check if the Honorable Mkunu is able to give her names.
Chairperson, it's 291.
Yes, please proceed.
Okay, 261, 248, 260, 247, 173, 195, 114, 211, 12. How many now?
You can give us the names of or the numbers of 16 people.
Come again?
You can give us 16. We are shortlisting 16, so you can
How
list
many
more
now?
names. I think you've
Okay.
given us 1, 2, 3, 4. How many now? How many has she listed now, Ms. Abrams?
Chairperson, so far I can read out the numbers. There was 9. There was a bit of disturbance in between, so I just need to clarify. Ms. Mkunu, you've
Okay.
indicated 291,
Yes.
261. Then
Yes.
I couldn't hear. Was it 48 and 47? I couldn't hear.
248 and 247.
248, 247, 173, 195, 114,
Excuse me, Chairperson.
211.
I'm in excuse me, Chairperson. I'm in a plenary. They are asking me to go inside for voting. Just give me 2 minutes, then I'll be out.
Okay.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Okay.
can you quickly just read those numbers again? Just take 1 second and read them again because we're going to close the meeting so that people can go and vote.
Okay, 291, 261, 248, 260, 247, 173, 195, 114, 211.
Okay.
That's one, and I'm inside now. 95, 12.
Okay. Honorable Mkhunu, because you have read those numbers into the record, you can just confirm those numbers. Okay, I can see you are dropping them here. If you can just drop them here on the group. Okay, she has read her numbers into the record. So Ms. Abrams, can you just contact her just to double check?
Yes, Chairperson. I will double check with her.
Okay. Colleagues, a division having been called, you can now log into the plenary. We are going to meet tomorrow to adopt this report. What will transpire from here is tomorrow morning at 9, we will get together to adopt the report with the 16 candidates that we have proposed to be interviewed during the first week of February. Ms. Abrams, you can just double check Honorable Mkhunu's numbers with her. Colleagues, thank you very much for attending. Thank you for being part of this process. Unfortunately, on Tuesday, there was a bit of a hiccup. I was on my own with Honorable Letlape and Honorable Peterson. And at that stage, I didn't think it gave a good impression in terms of our commitment to this process. But hopefully we have redeemed ourselves today. And hopefully the public that were watching us feel more comfort now that we have completed the shortlisting process. Gender-based violence and femicide has been declared a national crisis, a national pandemic. So it is therefore prudent of us to finalize this work as soon as we can. But thank you very much for attending. Thank you for giving us your proposed candidates. We will meet tomorrow morning at 9, from 9 till 10:30. We will be adopting the shortlisting report, and we will also be adopting our outstanding minutes. Colleagues, thank you very much for attending, and we will meet again tomorrow morning at 9. Thank you for your time. Also, tomorrow you will be allowed to wish each other a happy Christmas after we've done with our formal work. Thank you, colleagues. Bye-bye. The meeting is adjourned.
Long live the chair. Thank you very much.